welcome back to More Than Peachy's Gaming. I'm your host, Moonay, and today we're going to continue off on our Final Fantasy series in anticipation with all the stuff that is coming out. We are getting a little bit further into stuff. I know it's been a week since I did my last video, and I think that I'm going to continue doing it this way because I think it will be for the best. So I'm only going to do one Final Fantasy trading card video every week, and hopefully this does not bother most of you, mainly because, well, my videos generally aren't very specific, and I'm doing a very late series because, again, I was introduced to this game right before Opus 7 was released, which it was not that long ago, probably like less than a month ago, but what I want to make note of is that I originally did see the card game around before it really took off, and there was an incredible shortage. Retailers were trying to get them because the product just was selling out like pretty much everywhere. And they came out with 3 starter decks in Opus 1, and I want to talk about one of them. And this is the one I want to talk about. So this is the Final Fantasy XIII starter. It's the original one. It came out in, I believe it was November of 2016, but don't quote me on that. It might have been before then. And I saw it on shelves roughly around December. But it was pretty interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and open up this one because I've never actually opened up a trial deck or starter deck other than the Villains versus Heroes, which you saw last week when I did my video. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Yeah. Again, I've never actually opened this one. It's not like the Villains versus Heroes. The Villains versus Heroes one was opened up previously by me when I was at my card shop. So when you open these, you'll notice that there's some tape. When I opened up my Villains versus Heroes, it had no such tape. So they've done a better job of fastening these closed. Okay, so open it up. So it comes with a quick starter guide, and hey look, a playmat. I don't really care about the playmat all that much, and then I'm going to go ahead and pop this out if I can. Okay, so move that off to the side. So this is what you get. It is literally a brick. It is designed just like the Heroes versus Villains. I don't know if we can get a good angle there, but you have to pull on one of the sides where it overlaps. I believe it's the left side for this one. Yeah, okay. I'm pulling it open. Give me a moment. It's so much easier to do it from this angle, but so I finally got my finger underneath it. I'm going to go ahead and crease it up a little bit, make it a little bit wider. I'm wondering if it falls under the same circumstance as the Heroes versus Villains, or Villains versus Heroes. Oh my god. Villains always come first, apparently. Remember that, hashtag Villains first. Alright, so it comes off ridiculously strange. You can kind of see me kind of barely getting it off, so, and then, let's see if I can get the rest of it to just kind of slide off. And the answer is yes, awesome. And then it likes to just stick on me, wow. Too much static electricity here. Good thing I'm not using electronics. Okay, so, again, I've talked about my previous video about how the deck sticks together, and you can't really just like, oh, I'm just going to go through it. It's like, it's really like stuck. Yeah. The easiest way to get these unstuck from my previous experience is just kind of go like this. You can kind of hear it a little bit and do that. Up here, just kind of do that real quick. You do it on the other side if you need to, or bottom. Don't really need to. You're not really bending the cards really harshly, but when you do, you notice like they start to come apart a lot easier. So we're going to take a look through this real quick. So we got some lightnings. Pretty nifty card. And you get 3 of them, which is good. Oh man, I wish I would have known. I would have been getting some Gilgameshes. I totally passed one in a draft not too long ago, so man, crazy. Gilgamesh cannot be returned to its owner's hand by opponent's summons or abilities. Yeah, you can pay 2 lightning, you gain 1,000 power till end of turn, and you can do that as many times as you want. Or you can use Divider, which is his special ability. Choose 1 forward, break it. You can only use this ability if you have received 4 points of damage or more. So this is actually really cool. I really like Gilgamesh. Wow. He is also considered a commando. Alright, next up is Noel. Haste. If you control card Sarah, Noel gains plus 2,000 power. I like him. He has haste. Makui. Pardon, Nora. Choose 1 attacking lightning forward. It gains first strike until end of turn. That's okay. I don't really think that's that great. I was actually kind of surprised I saw Noel. Alright. We get Regdia. Again, not so bad. End of field. Choose 1 active forward. Deal 30,000 damage. When it's put from the field into the break zone this turn, choose 1 forward opponent controls, dull it. So I really like that ability. The only bad thing is it's very situational. We get our hands onto Odin. Choose 1 forward of cost 4 or less. Break it. Odin's really great for breaking things. That's why I like it. Okay, we got a Sage. When Sage enters the field, choose 1 character card in your break zone. Add it to your hand. Oh, well, that's salvage, more or less. Yay! Alright, we got 2 Sages. Alright. Next up is Summoner. Cost 1. It's a backup. I don't really like this card. I've just seen so many other backups with like really cool abilities, and I could pass on them. So there's 2 of them. Alright, we got Magus. Alright. Its ability is when Magus enters the field, choose 1 forward, deal it 5,000 damage. I kind of like that, but I also kind of don't. I like that it does deal the damage. Problem is that you're going to run into a situation where you need to find some way to either bounce it or get rid of it. So, Dragoon, first strike. And I love it that has the actual text on exactly how first strike works. So, I'm guessing that's because it is kind of a starter deck. So, to our first ice card, Sid Reigns. When Sid enters the field, choose 1 dull forward opponent controls, deal it 4,000 damage. When it is put from the field into the break zone, this turn your opponent discards 1 card from his or her hand. So this is going on the discard mechanic. I don't really like the discard mechanic too much, but what I do like is the dull mechanic. Tapping down stuff is good. Okay, we got Jill Nabat. See if we can get it to focus. Come on, you know you want to. It's because I got so much. There it goes. EX burst. When Jill enters the field, choose 2 forwards, freeze them, and she has Sadistic Surge, her special ability. Choose 1 forward, dull it, and freeze it. So again, I really like the dulling abilities. Ice is really good at doing that. So I'm about to get to the next card, which I think is Snow. Oh my god. Sometimes these cards are just so stuck together. They're hard to move off to the side. Alright, Snow. I'm gonna hold it like this. It tends to focus a lot better. Okay. When Snow blocks, choose 1 forward, dull it. Alright. And then he has a special till end of turn. End of the turn, Snow gains 2,000 power at first strike. You can only use this ability while Snow is blocking. That makes things a little bit harder. I don't really like that Snow. Anybody who's seen Opus 7 knows that the newest Snow is way better, though he doesn't really attack. Okay, we have a Saboteur, Sarah. Alright, when Sarah enters the field, your opponent discards one card from his or her hand. I like this as a forward, not as a backup, so, which is good. And then we got our hands on to a Mog from 13-2. When Mog 13-2 enters the field, you may search your for one category 13 forward and add it to your hand. I really like that ability. Allows you to go search basically for anything you need from this set. And we got, it looks like we have 3. Yep, we have 3. Bard. Come on, focus. Fighting the camera to focus. Wow. There it goes. There for a second. Come on. Okay, there it goes. Back up. Put Bard into the break zone. Your opponent discards one card from his or her hand. Again, this is actually an interesting backup because it does destroy itself to do that effect. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even bother with that. Then we get this great card. It's Shiva. Choose one forward, dole it, and freeze it. I like this Shiva. And it looks like there are 2 of them in here. Awesome. We have Summoner. No abilities, cost 1. Again, like the lightning part of this, I don't like it. Dark Knight. Costs 2 ice, deal 1000 damage to all the forwards opponent controls. I kind of like this ability because it can deal the damage all around. And you can technically cast it as many times as you have ice stuff in your hand or on your back line for backups. So technically, if you do it right, you could potentially do a lot of damage. And then I think I have one more card here in the back. It's gonna be a, yeah. Oh, wait, we got 3 Dark Knights. Wonder what the last card in here is then. Just there's 4 Dark Knights. I guess so. I didn't realize you could have 4 of this card in your deck. Okay, that's news to me. All right, so that's the end of the deck. Kind of why it's really weird deck. Honestly, I've thought about building lightning, but I don't know. Ice seems to be a little bit more of my forte. I do not know how much the deck actually goes for now. I think some of them have gone up, some of them gone down. I know my LGS has them for generally about 15. Though I think this one was 17, even though I've been told that it should be cheaper, according to TCG Player. So just kind of look around if you're looking for this one. I thought it was definitely worth my time, especially if you're building any ice or lightning, because it definitely has a lot of cool cards in it that will work for you. And if you're doing anything like title construction or the like, definitely 13 is a go-to. I might end up picking up another one of these in the near future. Not necessarily this one, but maybe the other 13 starter. Simply because I think it would work out really well in deck construction. Though I've personally never done any real good deck construction and played somebody. I've been mostly doing stuff like drafts and sealed and stuff like that. So it is definitely different. So just a heads up, that is what I play. And maybe you guys can tell me what you play. Do you like lightning? Do you like ice? Do you like playing the 13 set? Or do you play something else? Go ahead and mention it in the comments. And thank you again for watching my video. And this has been Mooney, playing around with Final Fantasy trading card game for my Final Fantasy Mondays.